So we're back in France for another European spotlight, but this time we are at Laroussi. Now, 2 years ago, I was literally 200, 300 yards over the other side of the road that splits two lakes, this Laroussi and another one called Old Oaks. Now, both lakes are owned by a gentleman called 𝗦𝗶𝗁𝗍, and he's such a nice guy, it's unbelievable. He's really accommodating, and all he wants you to do is catch some of these beautiful fish that he has, particularly in Laroussi. Now, these fish go up to, well, one of the fish goes up to 65 pound and is a fully scaled. It's all about how they look in this lake. There's zip linears, there's double zip linears, they're just fabulous fish. There's about 300 fish in here, and a lot of them around the 30, 40 pound mark, but it does include some 50s, 60s, and I do believe, after speaking to 𝗦𝗶𝗁𝗍 earlier, there is a fish in here that is tipping around the 70 pound mark. So it's Monday morning, and we actually arrived here on Saturday. Jamie, our cameraman, he couldn't actually be here from the very, very start because he had some very, very personal matters to deal with. So between Saturday and now, quite a lot of things have actually happened, and I'm here with 𝗃𝗶𝗃𝗏, who is over in, I think it's peg 1 and 2, which is a swim known as the Point. We've then got Simon, who's round the corner a little bit further. I believe he's in peg 3, and then we've got Adam Palmer, who's in peg 5. I think there's a swim between Simon and Adam. Simon is obviously our accounts manager. That put me off. That's my rod.
Oh yeah, you're in, mate, on the left.
I just need to get control a little bit because there's a bit of a grindy bar out there. But this was, no, don't do that. There's a little bit of weed out there, and that line has just flicked off a bit of weed, but this is the rod that I sent the deeper out looking for some depths, and I found like an area that was just slightly raised that looked polished on the deeper because I was looking for a hard spot. And in that image there were some big blobs, which I wasn't 100% sure what they were, but I said to Jamie, are they fish? And he said, yeah, 100% mate. To the point, actually one of the shapes even looked like a fish. And this rod's been out there an hour and it's off. It's off. So it does show you technology has an edge. Yep. Turn. It's a banger. Yeah, it's a banger. It's a banger. It's a double zip linear, and that's going to be pushing high 30, maybe 40. That's not a bad intro. That's one of them shapes on that deeper. That's what that is.
Yeah. Deepers are the one.
Yeah, not the NDS sonar that.
I might have to bleep that out.
So I was just giving you a bit of an update of what was going on, and I was interrupted by my rod going off, and what an interruption. A double lin, absolute cracking fish. It put me off my stride a little bit, so I'm gonna have to come back to that little talk, but I'm probably gonna have to watch back through what I said so I don't double up, but who cares? Look at it. Whoa. There you go. So, what was I saying? There's basically 5 of us here, and you can see by that fish that I've just had the exact reason why we're here. Anyway, I'm absolutely soaked up to my nipples, and I'm going to have a quick shower, change some clothes, and then reset my rods. So after that absolute scale perfect mirror that I had a little while ago, I thought it was going to kick off, and it hasn't. But what I have done is I've put some more bait out there. I've topped up all my other spots, and I'm happy with the amount of bait that I've employed out there. Now, it has been generally night bites. There's been a few fish come out during the day, and there's a few things that I haven't actually told you yet. So on the first night, Adam in peg 5, he managed to land a 34-pound mirror. Then just as he got into light on peg 2, Kyle had a 43-pounder, and that was pretty much it. Nothing else come out during the rest of that day. Now on the going into the second night, I had a common, and that was in the middle of the night, and yeah, it was all a bit of a kerfuffle because Jamie had just turned up. I was half asleep. I picked my rod up. I got my 2 rods tangled up, and yeah, it was a kerfuffle. So it was a quick lift to the camera and let that one go straight back. Then later on, it followed up with Adam Palmer in peg 5 having another 2, including a absolute beautiful zip linear. And yeah, so he had 1 at night, and then he had 1 in the morning as well. And we did manage to get a few bits of footage of that one. I have put some more bait out in the spot more so in the spot that I had that fish from earlier. Now there was a little bit of a story to that one, because I actually sent a deeper out there on the bait boat, and when I was looking, a big orange blob turned up on the screen, and I was like to Jamie, "Is that a fish?" And he come over and said that is blatantly a fish, and there was a couple there as well. To the fact it was actually the shape of a fish, one of them. Anyway, it wasn't long before actually that rod went, so I've put a little bit more bait out there. There was a nice little raised plateau by about half a metre difference from the rest of the area around there, and it is very, very hard and gravelly. Now, we do know that they like to feed on the gravel here. The owner, 𝗲𝗍, has said that you will see them in the central body, and if they're there, they won't feed, and you're going to pick them up when they move on to the gravel, generally around 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, and first thing in the morning as well. And so far, true to his advice, that is exactly what's happened. So yeah, knowledge is key once again, and I think we're all feeling optimistic now, because we've had a great start. Well, a beautiful morning it is. That sun this morning popping up at the back of the lake across those trees, mist rolling off the water, and I had this fish. It goes just over mid-20, and it doesn't look very big, but it's just solid, it's stocky, it is heavy, but not the big one we wanted, but it's another fish. And I understand that Adam in peg 5 over there has 2 in the retainer. He's had a double take this morning, so let's go over there and have a look exactly what he's got.
So my first time in France, didn't really know what to expect. Was worried it was going to be very different from what I know, but I've done all right so far. This is my 5th and 6th fish, so doing well at the moment. This common came first, and then literally just after I had a mirror, which I'll show you now as well. So 2 nice fish, and yeah, enjoying my session so far and hope it continues.
The lake has changed. There was a lot of activity in the centre of the lake, but now people are moving their lines around a little bit. So now there's a lot of rods out towards the area where I was fishing, not exactly on it, but quite close. So I've now brought my rods to the right more, to the central part of the lake, which no one else can really hit other than myself. So my mindset is, because of all the line pressure around, that's got less line pressure. It's now opened up the bay to my left-hand side, so there's a little bit of a peace haven there for fish to move in there with no pressure, and likewise to the right as well. So we'll see how that goes out there. I've already noticed some fizzing to my right. That's the first time I've noticed that sort of thing in this bay here. It's been quite quiet in this bay. I've been pinning a line straight out to the corner of that spit that comes round, and I've shut that off as well. I've moved everything over, it's opened that up, fish are moving in there now. So, and there's a fish just bosh there. It's so close in the bay. So yeah, that's it. I mean, rods are set for the time being, but if I keep seeing stuff like that, I'm going to have to bring one of those rods in that's out the middle there and probably start fishing this. But at the moment, I'm going to let them have a nice bit of peace time in this little bay. Good morning, and just when I thought last night was a quiet night, the WhatsApp group pinged off that Adam just had one, which is true to the sort of like the form that's going with at the moment. And I thought, oh, it's a blank for me tonight. But no, that rod absolutely ripped off as I was just getting up. It's a little bit later than normal as well. It's a 7:30 bite, this one, but it's come off of that pre-baited, or the area that I baited furthest out in the central body, and it's another common. I've had 3 fish now off of that area, and they've all been small, like cricket-back commons. So I'm just starting to wonder whether that area out there, all them fish I'm seeing, are maybe the smaller fish. I decided to put my rig back out again, and as I'm doing so, a carp nutted out 60 yards in front of me, and it was an absolute donkey. So I aborted the baited spot, and I put it on the head of that where that fish showed, and that was a feeding fish. It was a little subtle nod up, down. It wasn't a fresh sharp trying to, you know, clean its gill plates out. It was a feeding nod. So yeah, let's see if that one goes. But yeah, I thought it was all doom and gloom when I first woke up, but it changed in a matter of 5 minutes.
Should we look at the cricket bat then, mate?
Yeah, let's have a look at this another cricket bat. It's 20. It's a 20. Fish is still in the retainer. I was just literally going down to do a quick water shot, lift it, shut out the camera, let it go, because it isn't nothing massive. And as I was doing so, I went to go and get the retainer, and my right hand rod just tore off. Not the rod I thought was going to go, not the one that I just dropped on the fish, but got to concentrate and get this one in. This one's behaving a little bit different to the rest of them. It's heavy and it's plodding, and it started off over there and it's now over there. It's so hard to judge size of fish when you're playing them, but this one just does feel a little bit different. I'm not going to bully it, I'm just going to take my time I know there's a little bit of weed out there as well. But what I do need to do is I need to stop it from going over towards them snags, which is where it looks like it's going. Let's try and get back in control. It's not a big one. It's not a big one. Damn! It's part of the fun though, isn't it? Not knowing every time it goes. Is it a little one? Is it a big one? But when you do see a big one roll up with a net cord, it's like the heart just starts going. It's not going at the moment, no. The adrenaline was going, and now it's going. It's wearing off. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Well, I think with this one, we just unhook her in the net, give it a lift, and let it straight back. Let's let it go straight back. See ya. Bye bye. There you go. Reset. Go again. Time for a bit of an update of what's gone on so far today. After those fish we had this morning, or early hours this morning, we had we actually heard an alarm screaming off over the other side of the lake and looked up, and Kyle was into a fish. We sent the drone up and was trying to get the battle from the air, and we could see it was a decent fish. All very excited. I brought my rods in, we'll run round there quickly to go and see what he had got in the net, and it was a humongous grassy.
Well, there you go. It's been slow, to say the least, in our swim. So when the rod goes off and you get a fish, honestly, at this point, I don't care what it is. And it's a huge baby grassy. Come on, the size of this thing.
54 pound, I believe. So yeah, as we was all there, we decided it was a good opportunity to give 𝗲𝗵𝗁𝗲 the soaking that he deserved from the night before, or the day before, that he didn't get. So we filled the buckets up and he got drenched.
It's not that one. Are you there? It really wasn't that one. Oh, what did you move for?
We then come back to my rods. I re-chucked them back out. I decided that I was going to move them about a little bit. I wanted to relieve some of the line pressure, but I wanted to put 2 rigs back out on that baited area that I've baited from the start, that's been producing all those small commons. And yeah, it finally paid off. Oh, gotta go. Joe, mate! So when I bent into this rod, I did feel it was completely different. There was the big fish, heavy weight, hugging the bottom, and it just went from one end of the lake through a weed bed over to the other side of the lake. And yeah, backwards and forwards. Even at the rod tip, it was deep, and I mean deep in the water, but we could see the vortex from underneath when it kicked off with its tail coming up. And that is the point when you know you have something decent on the rod. Yes! Thanks, mate. I know. There we go. 3 days I've been waiting for a common like this. That common spot out in the centre of the lake has finally paid off. Not a cricket bat this time. Cracker. And that is definitely a yes! So this is why we come to France, for fish exactly like that. And with this one, there is the unknown. You know, you don't know whether it's going to be a smaller fish or one of these elusive big ones that pop up more frequently than most, to be honest with you. And yeah, it's a lovely, lovely lake. And what I'm actually doing today is I have adapted to what I've been watching around the lake, and they do not like line pressure. As soon as I relieved a little bit of pressure from that corner, that has allowed them to come into this other side in this little bay. And yeah, there's just been more activity. So I'm going to stick to that. And actually the one that I baited up from the very, very start in that corner, fish started to show in there. So now's my opportunity. Now that line pressure's away, they're getting in on that bait that's in that corner there. And hopefully I'll nick one from there as well. It's a mirror.
Good fish, that man.
There you go, half hour after that donkey of a common, got myself a dirty 30. I'll take these all day long, and it's another mirror for me. So I can get this back, I'm not going to muck about, I'm going to get those rods back on that spot. It seems to be rocking at the moment. Today was a little bit unexpected, more activity than I thought I was going to get. Because it has been predominantly night bites, but I'm all set back up there again, same tactic as last night, and yeah, let's see if it's as productive tonight as it has been, and even more so during the day tomorrow as well.
There you have it, that's another fish. These fish in this place are incredible. He's got a fantastic stock here. This one fell to a yellow ocean trout pop-up, fished over a bit of corn and pellet. Yeah, not disappointed with this at all.
It was an interesting night for me last night. The rod ripped off in the corner. The one that I said was going to do me a big fish, did me a big fish, but it wasn't the species that I was after. It was a grass carp, and it was an absolute unit. It went 65 pound 4 ounces, I think. So yeah, a proper submarine, that one. And apart from that, I didn't have anything else. It's the first night that I didn't have a carp, but as the morning came in, I did lose one, which was a little bit unfortunate. So as we come into the morning, it was around about 7:30, Kyle's rod ripped into action, and he managed to land a low 20 zipped linear, and yeah, that was a really, really pretty fish. And later on in the day, it was Joff's turn to actually get some action on the rods, and he hooked into something that took him up and down, hugged the bottom, and when it did pop up, he see what was on the end of his rod, and it was another grassy, another very big grassy, and that one weighed 63 pounds. So that was 2 60s grass carp in less than probably 12 to 14 hours apart.
What a fish. This was a proper team battle. More Kyle. We popped off to the shops, got some supplies. I've been patiently waiting for 5 days for some action. Hasn't come back round, Kyle's into it, taking over. What a kipper. 63, 64 pound. What an absolute unit of a fish. I don't mind the grassy, I'll take it. It's been a tough week. Yellow pop-up, doing the business. Look at that.
And a little while ago, Kyle's rod went back into action again, and I think this is his best day so far, where he's already had one during the day and he's into his second fish. So let's go and have a look and see how that panned out.
Oh, we're doing great on the drone.
Well, there you go. The action certainly picked up in mine and Joff's swim. This is the third fish for us this morning. I don't know, everything seems a little bit different. They're showing a bit more. I say, you can't be disappointed with that. That's 32 pound of Laroussi carp. You ready, Jay? You good to go? Oh, it's so nice to actually start catching fish, isn't it?
So I'm not going to talk to you about what rigs I'm using, but what I am going to talk to you about is what bait I'm using. Now in here, I've got the owner of the lake to mix me up some party blend, and we've got 𝗃𝗗𝗄, we've got pigeon food conditioner in there, we've also got hemp, and I've also thrown some 14mm plum and fish meal boilies and some mulberry nut boilies in amongst that. And then to really make it cloud up, I've added some zig slop. Now I do believe that most of this is actually going to fall to the bottom around my hook bait, but what I'm trying to do is I want that cloud all the way through to the very, very top, because that slurry is going to, as it drops down to the bottom, it's going to give off so much attraction. Now this is over here because it does actually smell to high heaven, but it seems to be doing the job, and I don't need to put a lot of this out before the rod does get a little bit of action, whether it's a liner, whether it's feed or feeding fish around the actual hook bait itself. It's clearly drawing them in. So this is the area where I had that big grassy last night, and hopefully it's going to be the area where I get a big carp of the correct species. But the rig is down there. I'm going to take my slurry, my slop, my party mix with boilie and everything, and I'm going to just scatter it along that tree line. And the whole idea of having all this attraction in this more of a slurry or a soup is I want to try and draw fish in from far and wide to that particular area where all the bigger particles are going to sink straight to the bottom. So we're going into Thursday night, and we're all set. Everyone has got their rods out. Simon's obviously moved. I think he's in a prime position, so hopefully he's going to get one from that little area down there. I've been showing her all day this morning. It does go quiet there for a little bit, but they seem to move back in there in the night time. And one of the biggest things, Jamie, our cameraman, is having to leave a little bit early. So now the responsibility is on Simon's hands to use the camera. But we're going to try and help out as much as we can with GoPros when we can. And let's hope we don't muck this up for Jamie. very, very quiet night for me last night, and I think it was as well for the rest of the guys around the lake. Apart from, I think Kyle had one about 7 o'clock this morning.
That's carp. Carp, it's carp, yeah. It's carp. Not a grassy, mate. I thought it was a grassy, ain't gonna lie. It's carp. Look, it's a mirror. Looks quite nice, to be fair. Nice, bruv. Well, there you go. It's another fish. It's another morning bite. It's starting to become more regular now. But what we have noticed, it's the yellow pop-ups that seem to be doing the damage at the minute. So a little change this afternoon. All the rods are going to go to the yellow pop-ups. So got to maximise our last night and our last day here now. So yeah, well pleased with that.
I do believe Adam lost one, but today is a lot cooler. They seem to be showing themselves a lot more in the middle today, which I haven't done over the last couple of days. So I do feel optimistic for a day bite today more than anything at all, just by what I'm seeing out there with them showing. It's a little bit cooler, the pressure's starting to drop a little bit, and yeah, let's see what happens. But at the moment, not a lot to report from last night, but the weather switched for today. So I've had a couple of day bites today. Had that 30-pound-ish grassy earlier, and then the rod's just gone again. Not a big fish. It's actually the smallest fish of the probably the smallest fish of the trip, but it's very pretty. So if this one grows on like the others that we've seen, yeah, it's gonna be a stunner. It's tiny, but look at it. Look at the scale pattern on that. Definitely one for the future. Back she goes.
What the is he doing? I couldn't see the net here, so I was like, what? What are you?
There's so many floats on that container that all he had to do was take his foot off the net and it just floated over him.
There we go. A cracking dark common, this one. A third of the day. I'm not going to hang about too long. I have got my rod back out there before I've shown you this fish. But I'm super keen to get her back, keep looking at the water and keep my eyes on the water, because that has made all the difference for this session. So yeah, let's get her back, get back to business. So that's crept up fast, and this is the final night now of this trip, and other than the 3 fish that I had earlier, it's been quite quiet across the lake. Nothing to report from anyone else, but at the moment we're starting to get a few fish showing out in the centre of the lake, and particularly over some of the baited areas. It's starting to slick up, so we know they're there. Is it going to be one of those nights which is going to be very busy for everyone? I hope so, and hopefully in the morning that's the report that you're going to get from us. There we go, the penultimate morning, slapping me. Not the fairy tale ending, but
It's a fish on the last morning. Absolutely loved myself at Laroussi. Into double figures for me. I think collectively we've had over 25, 26 fish. So mission accomplished. And like I say, couldn't be easier to put yourself up on the Angling Lines website to get onto Laroussi and Old Oaks over the other side. And Old Oaks has got the bigger fish in there as well. So, but yeah, you can't complain. With the week that we've had, it's been pretty epic. Back you go. Thank you, Larusi.
It's the last morning. It's still early. I don't know even if you're going to see this on the GoPro because the light, let me clean it. But that is actually a 60-pound grassy. We're not going to do anything with it. We're just going to put it straight back. But yeah, 60-pound grassy for fun now.
We
We are both soaked.
we are going to put this back. I feel I'm going to get soaked here.
I got all that on camera, mate.
Brilliant.
Thank you.